Modu is propounding, the president has said, some of the policy will be like the pain of childbearing. After some time, it will bear fruit. Is it that you are being dramatic, or perhaps, according to the followers of the APC, saying that you are not speaking the truth?
Anyway, I am not beholden to you. My job is accountability.
You are too small for me to report you to the president.
No, but they are empirical.
You are too small
Minister,
for me to
Minister,
report you to the
Minister, let me
president.
speak. Minister, let me speak. I have empirical evidence. The world watched it on the commission of the project when you mentioned the questions I asked you to the president. That was reporting me to the president officially. The world watches, so you don't need to dilly-dally about the empirical facts. I don't talk without facts, Minister. You know, when I have my facts, I talk.
There is a war being fought on Nigerian television every morning, but it's not been fought with guns or protests. It's been fought with questions. On one side, a man who interrupts politicians mid-sentence, who raises his voice when answers don't add up, who treats government officials like they are on trial. On the other side, a man who lets his guests finish, who maintains composure even when lied to, who believes respect and truth can coexist. Their names, Rufai Oseni and Seun Okinbaloye. And Nigeria can't decide which one is saving journalism and which one is destroying it. Welcome to RNN TV. I am Esther Olateju. This isn't just about two TV anchors. This is about a question that is tearing Nigerian media apart. When your leaders are corrupt, when your politicians lie to your face, when your democracy is bleeding, do you stay polite or do you get angry? Let me tell you a story about two journalists, one debate, and the soul of Nigerian media. Every morning at 7 a.m., millions of Nigerians tune in to watch politicians scream. Some watch Arise TV's The Morning Show with Rufai Oseni. Others watch Channels TV's Politics Today with Seun Okinbaloye. And every single day, the same debate erupts on social media. Who is doing it right? Rufai Oseni is what happens when a journalist decides enough is enough. He doesn't wait for politicians to finish their rehearsed talking points. He interrupts, he challenges, he raises his voice. When a minister claims inflation is down and Nigerians know their wallets are empty, Rufai doesn't nod politely. He confronts. His supporters call him fearless. His critics call him rude, but nobody calls him boring. Then there's Seun Okinbaloye. Calm, measured, professional. He asks tough questions too, but he does it differently. He lets his guests speak. He follows up with precision. He doesn't shout, but somehow, his silence after a politician's weak answer is louder than any interruption. His supporters call him respectful. His critics call him soft. But nobody denies the guest's results. So, who is right? Recently, media personality Dotun, the former Cool FM host currently fighting his own public battle over child custody, decided to pick a side. And when Dotun picks a side, Nigeria listened. Someone on X compared how Rufai and Seun handle political guests. Dotun's response was crystal clear. He preferred Rufai's fiery style. His kind of approach, Dotun implied, is what Nigeria needs right now. And just like that, the debate exploded again. Within hours, Nigerian social media became a battlefield. The reactions revealed something deeper than just preference for one anchor over another. They revealed how Nigerians see their own democracy. One user wrote, "This kind of approach is needed in Nigeria at this point. When politicians are unable to give valid accounts, it's only right to confront them with the same boldness. He stays within ethical boundaries but applies a unique and fearless method." Another fired back, "I have no problem with holding corrupt leaders accountable, but Rufai has been very partisan and never objected. He's interviewed opposition politicians and was never assertive, always very meek. He can ask questions without being rude." Someone else jumped in, "If you love and want Nigeria to work, you will always support Rufai's kind of journalism, not some set of clowns." The insults flew, the accusations multiplied. Partisan, biased, sold out, disrespectful, weak, compromised. But buried in all that noise was a question nobody wanted to ask. What if they're both right? Here's what the debate is really about. Nigeria is tired. Tired of politicians who lie. Tired of promises that vanish. Tired of watching their country bleed while the other in power read from scripts written by PR teams. So, when Rufai Oseni interrupts a government official mid-excuse, millions of Nigerians feel seen. Finally, someone is saying what we're all thinking. Finally, someone is angry on our behalf. But here is the other side. When Seun Okinbaloye maintains his composure, asks follow-up questions with surgical precision, and exposes lies without raising his voice, that is power too. Because respect doesn't mean weakness, and calm doesn't mean compromise. The truth? Nigeria needs both. We need Rufai's fire to remind politicians that Nigerians are watching and we're not playing anymore. We need his interruptions to cut through the rehearsed nonsense. We need his anger because sometimes silence in the face of injustice is its own crime. But we also need Seun's precision. We need his ability to let politicians hang themselves with their own words. We need his composure because when you lose your cool, you lose the argument. We need his respect because journalism isn't about ego, it's about truth. The problem isn't Rufai or Seun. The problem is that we're asking them to fix what politicians broke. Think about it. Why are we even having this debate? Because Nigerian politicians have made it impossible to interview them normally. They dodge questions, they lie with confidence, they insult our intelligence every single morning. So, journalists are left with an impossible choice. Be polite and get worked over, or be aggressive and get called unprofessional. Rufai chose aggression, Seun chose precision, and both are paying the price. But here's what nobody is talking about. The real enemy isn't the other journalist. The real enemy is a system that forces journalists to choose between respect and results. When a minister can lie about fuel prices while Nigerians are queuing for hours, the problem isn't the journalist who interrupts him. The problem is a system that lets ministers lie in the first place. When a governor can calm progress while teachers haven't been paid in months, the problem isn't whether the journalist is too soft or too hard. The problem is a democracy that rewards deception. So, maybe the question isn't Rufai or Seun. Maybe the question is, why are we asking journalists to do the job that institutions should be doing? Here's my take. Both Rufai and Seun are heroes. They're just fighting different battles in the same war. Rufai is fighting for Nigerians who have lost faith in the system. He's saying, I see you, I hear you, and I'm as angry as you are. His interviews are not just about getting answers, they're about validation. They're about reminding politicians that they work for us, not the other way around. Seun is fighting for journalism itself. He's saying, we can hold power accountable without becoming the story. His interviews are not about him. They're about creating a record. They're about asking questions so precisely that lies have nowhere to hide. Nigeria needs both warriors. But here's the uncomfortable truth. As long as Nigerian politicians refuse to be honest, this debate will never end. Because we're not really arguing about interview styles. We're arguing about how to survive in a system designed to silence truth. And that is not a journalism problem. That is a Nigeria problem. So, the next time you see Rufai interrupt a minister, or Seun calmly dismantle a governor's excuses, don't ask which one is better. Ask yourself, why are they fighting so hard in the first place? The answer might make you angrier than any interview ever could. Rufai Oseni, Seun Okinbaloye, 2 journalists, 2 styles, 1 mission, making Nigerian politicians tell the truth. Who is winning? Nobody yet. Because in Nigeria, the battle for truth isn't won in a TV studio. It's won when politicians finally realize that Nigerians are done being lied to. Until then, the debates will rage on. And honestly, maybe that is exactly what Nigeria needs. Because a country arguing about how to hold power accountable is a country that still believes accountability is possible. And as long as we believe that, there is hope. Thanks for watching RNN TV.